Hi students, in the previous video we studied some basic concepts of sequences of real numbers. Now we'll move to the some properties of convergent sequences. Let us move to the first theorem of the convergent sequence. Every convergent sequence has a unique limit. Another way, a sequence cannot converge to more than one limit point or limit. Now let us move to the proof of the theorem. Let an be a convergent sequence let if possible an converges to L has n tends to infinity and n converges to another limit L dash as n tends to infinity, where L is not equal to L dash. Let epsilon is equal to L minus L dash, that is positive. We assumed that the let an be a convergent sequence and it converges to the two different limits L and L dash. But I consider let epsilon is equal to modulus of L minus L dash, so that is positive. Since n is converges to L as n tends to infinity, there exists n1 belongs to the natural number n such that a modulus of n minus L less than epsilon by 2 for all n greater than or equal to n1. So this is through the definition of a convergence of a sequence. So I written equation 1 since n is converges to L. Also, since n is converges to L dash also, as n tends to infinity, then there exists n2 belongs to the natural number n such that modulus of n minus L dash less than epsilon by 2 for all n greater than or equal to n2. That is equation 2. Now let n is equal to maximum of n1 comma n2. I consider which is the maximum value, just I have taken as capital. Then we have modulus of L minus L dash, but you have to show that L is equal to L dash is a unique limit, but here assumed that L and L dash two different limits here. So L modulus of L is equal to L dash, so that can be written as L minus an plus an minus L dash added and subtracted an. So by using the inequality, modulus of n minus L plus modulus of n minus L dash. So This is the use by using 1 and 2, modulus of n minus L, that is less than epsilon by 2, plus modulus of n minus L dash using 2, that is modulus of, that is epsilon by 2. So this is equal to epsilon. Therefore, L minus L dash is equal to epsilon. It is proved that result. So, which is a contradiction? Which is contradiction is the limit of the convergence sequence is unique. So this is contradiction is fact that the limit of the convergent sequence is always unique limit. Now let us move to the another property of the convergent sequence. Every convergent sequence is bounded. Let us move to the proof of the theorem. Suppose that an converges to L as n tends to infinity, then for any given epsilon positive, there exists n belongs to the natural number n such that modulus of n minus L less than epsilon for all n greater than or equal to n. So this is through the definition of the convergence of a sequence return. Since it is an is the convergent sequence, it converges to L as n tends to infinity. So for any given epsilon positive, there exists n. So where n belongs to the natural number n such that modulus of n minus L less than epsilon for all n greater than or equal to n. Take it as equation 1. Now from 1 we have modulus of an, but you have to show that the convergent sequence is bounded. So now we consider modulus of n. So that is equal to adding and subtracting L, subtracted L and added L. So by using the inequality less than or equal to modulus of n minus L plus modulus of L. So this is less than, modulus of n minus L using equation 1, that is epsilon plus modulus of L. This holds for all n greater than or equal to n by using 1. Let us choose k that is equal to maximum of modulus of a1, modulus of a2 and so on, modulus of capital N minus 1 for all n greater than or equal to n. So now always n less than epsilon plus modulus of L, that is for all n greater than capital N. So it means an modulus of n is nothing but that is always less than epsilon plus modulus of L. So that is epsilon plus modulus of L. So out of these terms I'll consider maximum value. Therefore using equation 2 here, modulus of an less than or equal to k for all n. It means when you remove the modulus here, minus k less than or equal to an less than or equal to plus k. An lies between minus k to plus k. This hold for all n. So therefore, the sequence an is a bounded sequence. If the sequence is convoluted sequence, always it is a bounded sequence. But you have seen that two properties of the convergent of a sequence. So every convergent sequence has a unique limit, and the second property of the convergent sequence is every convergent sequence is a bounded sequence. Now we'll move to the next theorem. Every convergent sequence is bounded and has a unique limit point. But we know previous two theorems. So first theorem says that every convergent sequence has a unique limit point, and second theorem says that every convergent sequence is a bounded. So to prove this theorem, just follow the theorems 1 and 2. So we can prove this theorem with the help of the theorem 1 and 2. Already we proved that. So every convergent sequence has a unique limit point, that is theorem 1, and second theorem, every convergent sequence is a bounded. So combining the theorems 1 and 2, so the proof of the. So now we'll move to the existence of limit points. Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem says that every bounded sequence has a limit point. Before moving to the proof of the theorem, let us take an example. Let sequence an, that is equal to minus 1 to the power of n. So first term is minus 1, second term is 1, minus 1, plus 1, and so on. And it is a bounded sequence. We can show graphically. When n is equal to 1 minus 1, when n is 2 plus 1, when n is 3 minus 1, when n is 4 plus 1, and so on. So it is a bounded above by 1 and below by 1. It is a bounded sequence, and according to theorem says that every bounded sequence has a limit point. Let us check whether the sequence has a limit point or not. So here minus 1 and plus 1 are the limit points of the sequence. Since we observed previously, if we take a is equal to minus 1, epsilon is equal to, let us take 1. Let us construct the open interval minus a minus epsilon comma a plus epsilon. So that is equal to, when a is equal to minus 1 and epsilon is 1, so minus 2 comma 0. So this interval contains the points minus 1, first term, third term, fifth term, and so on. So this interval contains infinitely many points of the sequence minus 1 to the power of n. Therefore, a is equal to minus 1 is a limit point of the sequence. Similarly, 1 is also limit point of the sequence. So therefore, that according to theorem, we can prove that every bounded sequence, if the sequence is bounded sequence, it has limit points. So example, just better example is this. Let us move to the proof of the theorem. Suppose an is sequence an is bounded. The sequence n is bounded sequence. Let R be the range of the sequence n. A range may be finite or infinite. If the sequence n is bounded, obviously R is also bounded. We consider two cases because a range may be a finite or infinite. Let us take first case now. When a range R is finite, if R is finite, there exists an element X belongs to the R, where R is the range of the sequence, such that for infinitely many values n is equal to X. Infinitely many values of n is equal to X. Hence, for epsilon is positive, n minus X, that is equal to 0, less than epsilon. For infinitely many values n. Therefore, X is a limit point of the sequence n. Now let us move to the case 2, when R is infinite. When R is infinite, by the Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem for the sets, R as a limit point, because R is the set, so this set as a limit point according to the Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem for the sets. So say limit point, say y. Since R is bounded, because that the sequence n is bounded, since y is a limit point of the set R, here set R is the range of the sequence, for any epsilon greater than 0, there exists a interval a minus epsilon comma a plus epsilon. So this interval contains infinitely many values of the range R. Sorry, that here instead of a should take here you can observe a is equal to y minus epsilon comma y plus epsilon. Therefore, y is a limit point of the sequence n. So this is the proof of the theorem. Let us take a questions, multiple choice questions. Statement A, every convergent sequence has a unique limit. One statement. Second statement is every convergent sequence is bounded. But we know the properties of the convergent of a sequence, convergent sequences. Every convergent sequence has a unique limit. So that is the theorem 1. And every convergent sequence is a bounded. So that is theorem 2. Let us check the solution. Statement A is true, statement B is false. So this is wrong. Even both A and B are correct. Statement A is true and statement B is true. Yes, this is right. So solution is statement A is also true and statement B is also true, because every convergent sequence has a unique limit point and every convergent sequence is bounded. So therefore answer is B. Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem says that every bounded sequence has a limit point, or every bounded sequence is convergent, or every convergent sequence coincides with the upper and lower limits, and every convergent sequence is bounded. According to Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem says that every bounded sequence has a limit point. So answer is A. Every bounded sequence is a convergent. No, this is not correct. Maybe you can observe that here the sequence n minus 1 to the power of n is a bounded by above 1 and below by minus 1, but it is not a convergent sequence. It oscillates between minus 1 and plus 1. And every convergent sequence coincides with the upper and lower limit. This is true, but according to Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem says that every bounded sequence has a limit point. So every convergent sequence is bounded. Yes, this is true, but theorem is every bounded sequence has a limit point. So answer is A. So the sequence an 3 plus 2 square root of n by square root of n, where n belongs to the set of natural number, whether is a bounded and converges to 2, bounded and diverges to infinity, unbounded and diverges to infinity, or bounded and converges to 0. But here answer is A. But by the help of the properties of convergent of sequence, every convergent sequence is a bounded, and even though every bounded sequence is also convergent sequence, and it is a bounded sequence, and moreover it converges to 2. Let us check limit as limit of sequence 3 plus 2 root n by square root of n as the n tends to infinity. So let us take root n outside. Limit as n tends to infinity. If I take root n outside, 3 by root n plus 2 by root n. Root n get cancelled. Now let us apply the n test infinity. Anything by infinity is 0. 0 plus 2 by 1, that is equal to 2. It converges to 2. If the sequence is convergent, it is a bounded also. So therefore answer is A. The limit of the sequence an 1 plus 2 plus 3 and so on n by n square, so where n belongs to set of natural number. So let us find out the limit of this sequence. So how do you find out limit of sequence? You take limit of n as n tends to infinity, so that is equal to limit of the nth term 1 plus 2 plus 3 and so on n by n square as n tends to infinity. So this is equal to, sum of first n terms can be written as n into n plus 1 by 2 divided by n square. So this implies limit as n tends to infinity. You take n outside, n into n 1 plus 1 by n by 2 n square. N square get cancelled. Now let us apply the limits as n tends to infinity. So 1 plus 0 by 2, that is equal to 1 by 2. Limit is 1 by 2. So answer is C. Even though if you know the limit, we can show this is converges to 1 by 2 also. But anyway, you have to find the limit of that sequence. So by applying the limit as n tends to infinity, so one can find out the limit of the sequence. So the sequence an 3n plus 1 into n minus 2 by n into n plus 3. So it is a bounded and converges to 3. Let us find out limit of this sequence here. Limit as n tends to infinity an, that is equal to limit as n tends to infinity 3n plus 1 into n minus 2 by n into n plus 3. You take n outside, limit as n tends to infinity n into n. So 3 plus 1 by n and 1 minus 2 by n divided by n into, you take n outside from here, so 1 plus 3 by n. N square get cancelled. Now take limit as n tends to infinity 3 plus 0, 3 into 1 by 1. So that is 3. So limit is 3. It is a bounded and it converges to